Hello! Can you hear me? Is the audio acceptable? Is the microphone peaking? Is the Rule 34 off the screen? Hello everyone! Welcome to a goddamn live stream. I'm gonna open up a can of aspartame. Hello, Magma Muncher. Hello, Terranium. Hello, Tony Ruby. Hey, Beanlight. Hey, Cherry Bomber. Self-defeatist. Killer Quality. Self-defeatist, excuse me. Donny Arts. Who else we got? Harry Ashfield. Odysseus Themilis. Odysseus Themilis? Don't recognize that name, but you've probably been here before. I'm sorry. Ed Peachtree. Hey, everyone. Wow. So, okay, good. Thank you, Killer Quality. I'm glad that the audio is crisp. I'm sure you're going to hear me knock the mic a few times because the Cintiq is right in the way of it. Anyway, everybody, this is not some kind of grand return to live streaming. I'm not promising this is going to be the first of many. I'm not even promising that I'll be back within a year, okay? It's been more than a year, I think. And who knows, it could be an entire year until I return again. But I thought it's been a long time, and I'm totally out of practice. I don't know what I'm doing. It took me like an hour to set up OBS today. And I thought the hard work was over, but then no, you actually have to live stream once you set up OBS and tested the audio and everything. So what I'm going to do today is animate a new character in what I know ridiculously and annoyingly is going to be called Starbarians episode 3.9 because I am so terrified of the amount of work required to finish 4. I know it's ridiculous. Let me have a sip of my drink. Hello, Obscure Conure. Hello, Special Fish Simon. Good. I'm glad the audio is fine. Thank you, Magma Muncher. Hey, it's Cockenheimer. Love Cockenheimer. Always happy to handle Cockenheimer. And to put Cockenheimer nearby and have him just hang out. I love a Cockenheimer hanging out. Thank you for being here, Cockenheimer. I'm glad that you're, with us today in person. Hey, Dark Gosp. Hey, Mage Burger. Hey, Fun Cubes. All right, Dope Bone. All right, everyone. So I'm going to stop saying hello to everybody now, and I'm just going to hop in and do some cleanup because I thought, I'm going to do like this little easy bit of animation. I'll show you what I'm working on, and you'll see. Basically, I have about 4 shots left in this cartoon now, although, no, that is a lie. That's not true. That's a lie. I have 4 shots with 0 animation, but I have every shot missing mouths, backgrounds, sound design, everything. It will be out this month by hook or by crook, or by snook, or by shabook, but it's got a lot of work necessary still. I'm going to mute it for the time being. This shot is actually a fun one, because Kilgar floats in the air. He gets told something that totally changes his opinion, so he's like, what? And blah, blah, blah. And then we get this little guy, this little goober guy running away. Kilgar's body doesn't actually disappear and, do all this insane stuff in the final thing. Anyway, I'm working on this scene. We've got this character called Cutie Paluti, and I'll show you. Hogstrong's eyes are all messy there. I got to fix those. Cutie Paluti turns up when Hogstrong points to her. You can see it's really alpha. It's me, Cutie Paluti. How's everyone doing? That's obviously not going to be a voice in the final thing. The voice actress for Cutie Paluti is actually my wife Joyce, doing her best impression of Yvonne, I think her name is, from the Toxic Crusader cartoon. But this is Cutie Paluti. She's basically a crappy early 90s eco villain from like the Toxic Crusaders or Captain Planet. She's meant to be obnoxious, she's meant to be ugly and over colorful, but this is Cutie Paluti doing a saluti, and she has a nuclear power plant on her back. This is a shot actually cleaned up by Yap Chung Shing, who did a great job, and she has a gun that makes toxic goo monsters. And before we get into actually animating Cutie, I've got to finish, I don't have to finish, but I want to finish cleaning up this toxic goo monster, because it's a cool moment, but you can see this is the rough. It's actually like a camera move, so I've been animating kind of a version of it without the camera move, but you get this thing where, there you go, just hit yeah. Basically she makes a big fat girl out of goo, out of toxic goo. So no offense to big fat girls, I'm a big fat girl, but yeah, no, she makes a big toxic goo monster, a toxic female to go against their toxic masculinity, if you get that as an idea. I'm just going to say hi to Antonio Campanosi. Hey, Antonio. Self-Defeatist says that she's an actual cutie. I'm glad to hear it. Geranium says she looks like something out of Ratchet and Clank. You know, a lot of people have told me that my stuff is like Ratchet and Clank. I've never played those games. Mageburger says, Harry, what are you doing? That Goop guy has a big shine and big shade effects. And oh, yeah, I know, yeah. So I haven't colored this one. Hey, Delaxia, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, long time no see. So yeah, I've been cleaning up this shot today. So we've got it, it starts all zoomed in and then zooms out. That's why the floor kind of just appears with the animation. But yeah, so I've got a little bit of cleanup. I figure I can just do that on the stream very quickly. And if you have any questions, you can send my way. Just gonna drown in drink. But it's been a long time. It's been a very long time, and I don't want to make false promises about, I'm gonna do this regular. I'm coming back on the regular. But I thought, hey, look, if you're ever gonna do it, it begins with one. You just make one live stream, and you come back and you feel it out. I think that animation is not a very live stream friendly thing to do. It's creative, which is nice, and it kind of, you can show people. Actually, I'm going to do a one body part at a time because I'm starting to lose kind of track of the movement a little bit. Okay, so the finger's going to come slightly overshoot like that. Yeah, I think animation is one of those things that's kind of boring to watch. I mean, cleanup especially. Actual true animation when you're just planning out the movement is fun, I think, because you can kind of, especially digital animation, you can play it back, you can test different things, you can go, what if the character, what if we slowed that down, what if we speed that up? But cleanup, which is what I'm doing now for the next probably 5 to 10 minutes, pretty boring actually, pretty damn boring if I'm honest. But we'll be in and out of here today before too long. I'm not going to go any longer than 2 hours, so just a little live stream just to kind of test it out again. It's like a muscle, you want to use it every so often just to keep it from atrophying completely. Hey Joel, did I say hello to any point already? Hey Joel. Hey Coolio. Coolio or Coolio says, reminds me of the grease monster from the comic promo. Yeah, it's not related to that. I think I like blobs of grease, being a blob of grease myself. This is not a comic promo. I'm done basically promoting the book. It's kind of done its thing, and now I'm kind of going to make more stuff. Hey, Jan Duval, who I know from the Patreon and the Discord. No, a lot of these guys like Joel and Magma Muncher, met them through the Patreon. Magma Muncher says, I need to know Cutie Paluti's canon aged before I say anything. I kind of figured that she is like 45 or something. I'm going to say she's 45. Because with all my wife is not 45, but with all respect to the voice, we went, with all respect to her, the voice that she did was kind of, we talked about gunking it up. So it's a little bit, kind of a little bit gungy. So she doesn't sound like a kid, I don't think. It's high-pitched, but it's kind of, sounds like it's got some, she smoked a pack of 40 Woodbines before, hitting the booth. So yeah. Cutie Paluti you'll see later on, guys. I'm just going to clean up this goo monster that we've got. But this is Cutie, and she is our obnoxious Toxic Crusader character. Here she is. For those about to pollute, we salute! And we're going to do a little very quick bit of animation on her today. And let's see if Grandma Harry can finish animating this goo monster before I do that. Alright, so that's the last frame. Let me see now. I want this sort of tendril of goo. My mum is texting me. Mum, go away. I loves you, but I loves you, but I'm streaming. Streaming. Talk later. Don't need shower. Now, I do not live with my mum, but she lives in the same town as me nearby, and I am currently without hot water. They turned off my hot water today because the boiler is being replaced. So she is wanting to know if I need to go and use the shower at hers, and I don't need a shower because I'm clean. The minute they turned off the hot water, I thought, right, I'm gonna have my last shower for the week. Get it in there while the water's still warm. And you know what I'm looking forward to? Speaking of my wife voicing Cutie Paluti, and speaking of grease monsters, my wife, this is such a gross thing to say. This is a married man thing. My wife, to me, smells better when she hasn't showered for a couple of days. I don't know if any other married men or men in long-term relationships or anyone in a long-term relationship feels that way, but I like it personally when there's a little bit of oil build up on the head, because she never smells bad to me. She just smells like, she gets a little bit of a patina on her. That's what I call it. I call it a patina. And I'm looking forward to, if she is unable to shower until they fix the boiler at the end of the week, then my wife's gonna, because she's like too clean. She showers way too often. And I'm like, why'd you shower? You ruined it. We had a good thing going. You fucking ruined it. She's gonna get a little bit of that antiquing on her if she can't shower for like 2-3 days. And a lot of people would say that's gross. I say it's fucking awesome. All right. Enough of my gross antics out of the way. Let's see what you all are saying in the chat. Hello, Agsma. Hey, man and sofa. Mage Burger says cleanup surprisingly still requires an active brain. Yeah, I don't have one of those. Antonio says, do you have a VR headset? No, I don't have any technology made after 1984. Terranium says she sounds like a gremlin. Cutie Paluti. No, she doesn't sound like a gremlin. She sounds a bit like... I tried to get her not to sound like Harley Quinn, and my wife did her... We were trying to imitate this character, Yvonne, from the Toxic Crusaders. Does sound a little bit like Harley Quinn, but whatever. We got to deal with the comments saying that. Yandaval says, from what Harry just said, I think he might have fashioned the grease monster after himself. I am the grease monster. I love a bit of head grease from an unwashed concubine. Yeah, natural musk, Terranium. Magma Munter says, that's like Napoleon writing to his wife, I return in 3 days, do not bathe. Exactly. Magma Muncher, that's always what I tell people. I am like Napoleon, just taller and, you know, a bit less dead. A little bit. Inferna, hey Inferna. Inferna says, hey, kinda random. Lol. I know, but just wanted to thank you so much for your for your hoo-ha series. It's what got me started taking drawing more seriously. Thank you. You're welcome. You can keep it. But no, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, Arch Hippie. Hey, Dinwar. Dinwar. How do I say your name, Dinwar? Hey, Cockenheimer says, natural musk has love pheromones. That's probably why, lol. Yeah, man, I'm a lover of the natural musk. I like an unnatural... I was gonna say I like an unnatural amount of makeup. It's not always true. I don't need a lot of makeup, especially not on me. But I love a natural musk. Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so I'm not thinking here. We gotta get through this. We gotta clean up. We're on the last 2 frames here. So, all right. You notice I didn't ink her eyelashes. I didn't do that because I thought the pen I was using was too thin. I thought I'll go back and do that when I'm done with a thicker line. So let me just do this here. These are supposed to be like what do you call them? Hair blobs. What do women call blobs of hair that grow out of their heads and they put ribbons on them? Not pigtails. Is it pigtails? Is that the one at the side? Not Blossom. Buttercup in Powerpuff Girls has them. I guess they're pigtails, right? A ponytail is the one at the back, and pigtails are the ones at the side. If I ever meet a woman, I will ask her in person. Say what the blobs of hair called. I mean, these are literal blobs of hair because this is a girl that's been made out of grease. Or no, not grease, goo. Excuse me, it's very different. All right, we're gonna put in this mouth hole here, like that. We're nearly done. We're nearly done. And we can all be home for Christmas. We can all celebrate the completion. Okay, good. I still actually think I want to add another in between, but I'm going to do that off stream because this is a boring way to come back. I thought, okay, do a live stream. What's fun? What's colorful? I'll tell you what's colorful. My brand new character, my original character, Cutie Paluti. No, she's colorful and fun, and we're going to get to her in 10 minutes time, I think. But she is, she's not, that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm doing boring black and white cleanup. Okay, Jan Duval has solved the mystery for me. It is pigtails. Lazy Azzy Guy, Asguy says, I love you, Partridge. Thank you, Az. It's mutual, I'm sure. Did Dinwar tell me how to say their name? Has it been moved too far up the chat? I can't see it anywhere. Pugtails, says Cockenheimer. Hey, Hyper Wizard says streams are back. They're not back. They're not back. This is an experiment to see if I even feel like doing another one after this. So maybe you'll get some more. I'm sure you got plenty of streams you could enjoy. Mine, I think, tend to be on the boring side because it's so much cleanup. But thank you, everybody, for coming by. Thank you, Hyper Wizard, for all your support lately, for getting so many copies of Starbarian Tales, and for buying some art on Etsy. Really appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, this is not necessarily a return to streaming, but it's been a while, and, you know, in a lot of ways, doing animation, it's so hard to kind of get yourself out there and remind people that you're not dead, which is what they have a tendency to think when they don't hear from you for 6 months, that a live stream is a good way to kind of remind people that I'm still doing stuff. And if you want to ask me questions, you can do that at any point. I'll try and read as many as I can today. So she's got holes in her mouth because she's made of goo. Toxic goo, specifically. Toxic goo. And... alright, okay, so there's a lump there. Lump overshoots, and then the lump settles. That's good. There's a lump here, the lump overshoots, and then the lump settles. That's good. Okay, and then the eye... she's got a great big kind of... I am strong gore. She's got like the big sort of monster eyes, big wall eyes. And I'm going to do the eyelashes, like I said, probably off stream, because I want those to be thicker, use a different brush. And I really want to get into doing Cutie, who is the star of the show. She is the reason we're all here. Animating Cutie Paluti. Alright. Oh, okay, that is the last frame. Alright, we're nearly there, folks. We're nearly there. Let me see what the chat says. Hey, Dark Knight 72. Harry, have you seen the Invincible TV show or read the comics? No. Jonas Olsen says Wave. Coolio says, are you more productive at certain times of the day? I don't have the discipline to draw any time but night. Yeah, it's funny, man. I really am the best the minute I wake up. I woke up today at 5:45 a.m. Yesterday I woke up at 6:25. I'm really good for the first 3 hours of the day. I'm crap after that, especially if I've had carbohydrates for lunch. If I have a big load of bread or pasta, I'm pasta out. I'm pasta out on the bed. I can't do crap. That's actually one of the reasons I set the stream to be in the evening. It's 7:20 here in the UK, and I made it that time because it does help keep me focused. It's a thing to do, so I'm not just, you know, just being a big slob. Yeah, I'm really good early in the morning, and I get progressively crapper throughout the day. Right. Harry Ashfield says, can you tell us a bit about how you felt the Indiegogo went? Happy with it. Oh, happy with it. Keen to do it again. Brother Harry, who has been a long-term supporter. I've met him in person. He came to a YouTube Google thing that I did a couple of years ago. Really appreciate Harry and everything he's done for me. I'm not talking in the third person now. I'm speaking about Harry Ashfield in the chat. I can talk at length about the Indiegogo. Don't know if I want to. not that I don't want to answer your question. I worry that I'll ramble on. Let me have a sip of my drink. Cliff notes is that the campaign financially did well. It did well, but I totally, and I think the book came out good. I think it could be better. I think I learned a lot, but I am proud of the book. I'm proud of the script. I wish that the book breathed a little bit more. For me, it's a bit garish in places because it feels overstuffed. I did it. It made it 100 pages. The Starbarians graphic novel, which is still available technically in the US right now. It probably will be available internationally in a little while. So hold out if you still want it and you're outside of the US. It will come back in some form. But I am proud enough of the book. I just think I'll do better next time because it was my first ever book. And the campaign did well, but I made some errors outside of the book. Like I said, the book's a little claustrophobic in places. I think the story would have been better in 150 pages. I think it was a bit too tightly packed, being 100 pages. But the stuff that was a problem for me was fulfillment. I'm still dealing with issues with getting it into everyone's hands. I think I've probably fulfilled about 95% of the orders right now. So that sounds like, oh, that's great. You know, out of plus 3,000 copies, we've got like 95 of them probably into people's hands, maybe 90%. I'd say more than 90. But there are problems because I undercharged for shipping. I didn't realize how much it would be to get things to like Norway and Sweden and Denmark and Australia. So there are certainly copies of the book that lost money. One book, yeah, well, for example, like I charged $14. I think there was the maximum I charged for shipping, and some copies cost me $45 to ship. So lost money on quite a few copies, which was a problem. And not everything has arrived in great condition. Some have been a little bit dinged up, which I'm not happy with. So stuff that is ongoing, and some stuff just hasn't arrived yet. Either a wrong address or an incorrect address that was unverifiable was provided, and books go out and they can't find their destination. And then some people have gone, hey, where's my book? And I've got to deal with that tomorrow. I'm planning to contact a load of people and sort of try and fix it up for them. And in some other cases, it's like, I don't know if we made a mistake or not. They may have just moved and not told me. So there's like 30 orders right now. Not a lot out of 3,000, 30. But it's a bother. It means I can't put it to bed yet. I've got to continue to sort of think about that. And it's sort of like a part-time job, really, fulfilling it. So I want to tell more stories in comic book form, but man, I don't want to fulfill it myself. I want to be teamed with a merch partner to do that. So I've got some ideas there. And wish me luck. So I am hoping to do more comics because it's the greatest story I've been able to tell. It's the longest story. It feels more like a movie. And going back to doing a 2-3 minute cartoon is, in a way, it's a bit of a blue balls. But all right, I've talked about that enough, and I've been morose about that. So I'm sure we have other things in the chat. Hey, Gregor's by. Gregor says, got you feeling Fusalipi. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, like tired. Pasta out. Fusalipi. Very good. Yandeval says, next time being Trilby Dogtooth, of course. Of course, Yandeval. I will bring him back. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Jonathan. Hey, Fakanza. Fakanza says, you should be proud of it. Like you said, it was your first time tackling something of this sort. Thank you, Fakanza. I would feel proud of it if I was 21. Being 37, I'm not really proud anymore. I'm just like worried. Worried that things aren't moving at a faster clip. Beanlight says, holy fuck. I don't know what you're saying holy fuck to. But I hope everything's alright with you, Beanlight. Slinky says, do you still play Skyrim? No. No, I don't. I don't play any video games. I have to draw all day to make a crust. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's kind of true. Literally, if I'm not, doing errands and doing adult stuff now, I'm basically passed out on the sofa at the end of the day watching about an hour or two of YouTube. So I really don't play many video games. I watched my wife play a little bit of the Croc remaster this week, and that's about it, really. I haven't played Skyrim in, gosh, like probably since 2012 or something. Alright. Alright, I'm not happy with this. Okay, guys, we're going to wrap this up because we've been doing this for far too long. And I'm just moving around, like animating random little bits of her because I'm talking and trying to sort of give answers. So, yeah, I'm not really doing a great job of cleaning this up, but I think we can get it to a usable place. And then we'll move on to Cutie Paluti. Good, I did her other leg. I didn't know if I'd done her other leg or not. So, alright. So it's just this finger here. Alright. Those hands don't match at all. Alright, time to watch it back. And I may be disappointed with the last couple of frames because I feel like they were kind of probably flickering a little bit because I was not really focusing. So we got a shot, basically it zooms out. I'll show you it in the animatic. You can see oh, I can't because oh, there you, okay, there it is. So she fires her gun. This is Cutie Paluti, who we're gonna get to in a minute. I know you're all very excited about Cutie Paluti. And she fires a gun and goo monster comes out. Okay. And it's pretty cool. So camera move, you kind of can't see the floor until she sort of, until we pan back or zoom back, whatever, dolly back, whatever it is. And so I've cleaned that up now. Yeah, I think the cleanup's fine. I'm going to add probably one more frame when we're done after this stream. And I'm going to do the eyelashes too. It's going to be a bitch. It's going to be a bitch to do the coloring for this shot because let me show you. It's this little, like, kind of like this approach where he's basically got like an outline of white and then a little bit of shading. It looks easy. It looks, actually, I thought it was going to be easy. It's deceptive. I thought, oh, that would be really easy. Just kind of have no color. These little goo monsters. I can animate those very quickly. I think they're easy to animate, but they're not easy to color because you got to hit all those edges, you know. But I like this little guy. Gonna have that kind of like little kind of dopey voice. So, all right. Well, I'm gonna make sure that we save here because I don't know if I saved or not. And we're gonna go back to Cutie Paluti after I read some comments. Hey, Ed Peachtree. Ed Peachtree says no more tank controls. Yeah, in the Croc remaster they did smooth out the controls. Although Joyce, who's playing it, my wife, she's such an old head. She's like turned off. I think the tank controls are not on, but she's turned on all the old graphics, and I feel like it's a waste of money. I feel like we paid for the remaster. Give me the smooth graphics. I know they're ugly because they're just, you know, they're kind of anachronistic, but give me, you know, I paid for the smooth. Give me the smooth. That's how I feel about it. Hey, King Putis. King Putis says, this looks cool. Thank you, Putis. Thank you, Patutis. Hyper Wizard. I don't know if you're talking to me. Welcome to your 30s, because I'm 37, dude. I've been in my 30s for some time now. Mageburger says, I still can't believe Croc got a remaster. That and Destroy All Humans felt random. Hey, Savian says it's actually Go Animate and Suno. Yeah, it is. I'm making all my shit in Suno now. Special Fish, thank you for saying it looks awesome. Very nice of you. Chippy says if we can get Cutie Paluti working, she's the key to all this. Look, she's a funnier character than we've ever had, okay? We go from slightly comedic with Kilgar to Death of a Hero in Hogstrong, back to Cutie Paluti. It's like poetry, it rhymes. Dylan Rover says, I'll be right back. Dylan, don't make us wait. Cockenheimer says, for your next book, are you planning to self-publish again? Or would you rather work... I know you're not saying it like that. Would you plan to publish again? Work with a publisher. Might make it easy on your end. I'm not saying it. I'm not going to confirm anything. But I would much rather... I don't want to be involved in printing and worried about things like zip codes and calculating shipping, and a guy in Norway, you know, received an order that was slightly dented, and I don't know if that constitutes any kind of refund or a partial refund or a free digital copy. I can't figure all that shit out. It's merciless. And out of 4,000 orders, there's been probably 100 or so, 200 that are really an issue. 30 that I know just never arrived at their destination, so I've got to figure that out. I'm gonna get on it tomorrow, guys, okay? I will get on it. But I'm doing better than some people. I'm not gonna call out anyone by name, but some individuals make hundreds of thousands of dollars on their comic and never deliver it. What the fuck's that about? You're ruining your chances there ever doing another one, I would think. Cockenheimer says, I already read Cockenheimer. Terranium says the Croc Remaster also allows you to turn on a VGA filter. Yeah, that's the things that Joyce is turning on. All the things to make it look old, the sepia tone and the the film grain or whatever. Antonio says, ever worked on video games? I mean, kind of. I made little crappy video games in Game Maker before I ever did animation, back when I was 15 and 16, and I've done some music and get voices and stuff for some games, but never, like, as a programmer, really. Dark Gosp! Hey, Dark Gosp, have you thought on implement cutout animation? Ha! Dark Gosp, what a funny, coincidental thing to say. You would be right on the money. In fact, I've actually been doing that lately. Let's go back to animation now, and I'll show you what I mean. So I call these mini rigs, which I was originally going to call them pose rigs, and I think mini rigs is more catchy, and it's also what people call the little tiny Star Wars toys, vehicles that came out in the 70s, no, in the 80s, in the early 80s. Like, for kids that couldn't afford the Millennium Falcon, you could get non-existent Star Wars vehicles like Han Solo's tiny steamroller that he never used in the movie, and they call it a mini rig. So I call my mini rigs because I'm unoriginal and I like toys and steamrollers. So things like this. What is this? This looks like maybe frame-by-frame animation. This is frame-by-frame animation. This is like those, what the camera sees in video games when you kind of zoom out and you see the characters, legs or whatever, or feet are like spazzing through the floor and glitching. Obviously, you only need to animate the top half of Hogstrong, or the bottom half, because he's bending down. And then we lift up. What's that? What's that? My friends, that is technically my version of a motion tween, which is what I call a mini rig, because all of these are body parts that I can move around, like so. Oh, no, that one was actually, yeah, I think I had to, okay, I redrew that arm because I didn't like my tween arms, but these are all body parts. And honestly, it was probably a waste of time doing it just for that shot. But I tell you what I used it a lot in was the thing I uploaded recently, the Kilgar Squirts short. That was actually an animation test. I used that heavily. I call them mini rigs, and I used them heavily in that. I don't think it saved me any time, which is a bummer. And I think it looks slightly worse, but I only used it for this shot to bridge between. So this is frame by frame, frame by frame. Oh, mini rig, mini rig, mini rig, mini rig, mini rig. You can kind of, that the camera move kind of hides it. Mini rig, and then frame by frame. The thing that gives it away is I realized I'd used too thick. The lines were too thick in the mini rig, so it snaps to sudden thin lines. But honestly, you don't really notice in motion. Now you notice, and it's going to bother you, but I don't notice, and I made it, so that's good enough. So what I'm thinking is, to make sure that we're not here until the end of time, today we're going to animate everyone's favorite character, my new OC, Cutie Paluti. And Cutie Paluti is going to be animated, I'm thinking, with mini rigs, because I don't want to spend very long animating her. I can barely get anything done when I'm live streaming because I'm spending half of my mental energy talking and reading questions out. So, yeah, we're gonna go mini rig, I think. This is a fun shot, but it's nowhere near done. It's not actually, it's kind of a boring shot, but it's a funny idea. I think this cartoon's funny, it's sort of silly, but it's one more little placeholder until I can do episode 4, which I really hope comes out this year because it's getting ridiculous. I'm getting too long in the tooth, and I need to start my life. So anyway, we've got a shot here. I got a little gag where Hogstrong is talking about something. Very bland animation here from me, but kind of functional. I think I did it quite quickly. He's talking about a distant planet. There's a funny little joke. That planet has like a visual sight gag attached to it. You can see my high-grade animatic background is not making that sight gag evident in any way. And then Cutie comes in after he makes his point. She starts yelling at him. blah, 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 blah. And this is the problem. I was watching this back and I'm like, nah. I don't like that it cuts from her static. She's a bit big in this shot too. I might actually like slightly reduce her into the top left corner, or top right corner, sorry. So she's kind of not so on top of Hogstrong. She's a little, I don't imagine her to be quite so tall. And I don't like that it just cuts to her whoosh over here like that. And so what I was thinking is, oh, I need to have her leave the shot. So I think that's all I'm going to do today. For the rest of the stream, it's a really little thing. There was supposed to be highlights, I think, on her. I can't remember. Were there supposed to be highlights there? No, it doesn't matter. Her hair, by the way, is supposed to be a biohazard symbol. I don't know if that's clear. But you have those kind of like... biohazards kind of... They're like... I don't know how to draw it, but it's sort of like these weird circles. Look up biohazard symbol, you see what I mean. I can't draw it now. I have to look at Google Images. But anyway, I'm gonna have Cutie. She's not cute, is she? She's got green teeth. She's got some ooze escaping her brain, and she's covered in spots. But I like. Hey, look. We don't judge based on looks here. So I'm gonna animate Cutie leaving the shot. Before I do that, I'm gonna see what folks in the chat are saying. Hey, a random studio. I think I recognize who that is. The name is new, but I've not been around in a long time. Hello. Hello, Inferna. Hello, Nos or Noche. I'm not so sure how I say that. But you know what your art needs, Harry? More grease. Look, everybody needs more grease. The only thing that we didn't need more grease in regards to was the Grease movies. They talked about a Grease 3 or a Grease reboot. Good job we didn't get any more grease there. Hey, Mr. Matimation! What a great term for it. Mini rigs. Yeah, mini rigs. Gotta love your mini rigs, dude. Focus on Works has been like, read chat when you're taking a breather. Owlyverse, hey, says we'll be patient. Alright, well I'm gonna try and get some work done. Take a sip. Coffee Troll says, I used to make those mini rigs when I used to animate. Of course, hey, everyone needs to do a mini rig from time to time. Life is too short for constant frame by frame. Hey, Big Texas Tony. Big Texas Tony. Cockenheimer asks, Harry, I'm also working on a comic book series. If it ever gets big and becomes an animated series, you will voice in it. You don't have a choice. Okay. Well, I mean, I hope the pay is good for my new slave labor that I'm assigned to. All right, let's get Cutie out of the shot. She's a bit big. She needs to be resized, but she goes blah 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 like that, and then I wanted to just literally zoom or pull out. We could literally just do this. Could just have her go like whoop like that. Just have her go. Just have a kind of. But I think that's going to be too lazy and look too crummy. So I tell you what, is she? Okay, she's a graphic, so I'll actually animate it in the graphic. That'll make it easy to keep all the layers together. And what I'm thinking is, let's make a layer for her big stupid backpack thing, because that is really glaring. We're gonna have to do this in Flash or in Animate. Is that the right lines? Yeah, that's a good line thickness for this shot. Okay. Now, one of the reasons why doing kind of tween stuff and mini rigs isn't always as time saving as you think it's going to be is because you have to draw through objects. You kind of have to not just draw the parts you see, you got to draw the parts you don't see. So that is not fun. It's one of the reasons that my Kilgar ketchup thing, that little test film I did with this approach, took a long time. But I think one of the reasons it took a long time is because it's like 30-40 seconds of constant animation. I thought it would be a good test to do a little 30-second thing, but what would have been a better test is one little shot. One little shot in a bigger project like this, kind of like what I'm doing now, should have been the test. So, silly old Harry One of those cooling towers looks very thin. Really, the box should be out there and the other cooling tower should be like that. She's toxic waste. Like, I don't have a problem with nuclear energy. I don't know anything about nuclear energy. But I thought it matched the visual. Cooling towers. Like, it looks toxic. Looks like a 90s villain would have that as a backpack. So, let's just put that as a layer. And we'll just get some shading on there real quick. It's basically behind us, so I don't think we need to make it too perfect. Something like this. And it's kind of like that. Kind of a shadow of her back, I guess, is kind of casting a shadow on it. Alright. So this might look terrible, actually. So basically, for people that have just joined us today, we have this character, Cutie Paluti, who's a pastiche of 90s eco-villains. And she is going to be exiting the shot, but I don't want to frame-by-frame animate it, because lazy and old. I'm lazy and old. So we're going to use a different approach, which is kind of like a motion tweened animation, but it's a little bit more organic, I think, because I'm going to be moving the parts by hand. It's actually more like traditional paper cutout animation. So, alright, that's her backpack. I'm going to have to kind of trace her body from the previous frame, I'm thinking. And then we'll do like the head. You know what, actually? I got an idea. Maybe the arm and the hair needs to be frame by frame, because I think it's going to be more obvious if we tween it. Maybe not. Maybe not. So what we're going to do is we're going to trace the body here, but I'm going to act like an idiot. I'm going to act like she's already moving away. So the boobies, the boobulas, we have talked about it. She is a woman of age. She is at least 45. The boobulas are going to be in motion. They're going to be like dragging, like she's moving. She's going to kind of zip out of shot. This is not what's going to be high class looking animation, I think, in any regard. Let's have her neck be a tween, so we'll draw through the neck. And let me zoom in. I'm not doing a very good job of drawing here. Keep the I'm going to kind of draw a lump of green there, I think, so we can animate her arms. And then something like that. Stripes, kind of warning danger stripes. Gonna kind of treat the dress that she's got like this exploded kind of metal dress thing. Gonna act like that's already in motion. She's gonna be in motion the whole time. She's just gonna exit the frame, and you can see guys, that this is not gonna be an award-winning drawing here. Do I want to go there? Okay, the other arm, like the metal band thing that's kind of fastening the backpack too. We're going to draw that on a different layer, I think. So, okay. Oh yeah, she's got another little kind of hole in her dress here, which you'd sort of see nip through, but we nipped it in the bud. I mean, she's an alien, I guess. Is she an alien? She doesn't really look... She is... Oh yeah, she's an alien. Okay, she's an alien. She's definitely an alien. Okay, so... Put a bit of shadow there, bit of bubular shadow, and then whoop like here, whoop like that. Alright, so while I'm doing this is kind of mundane, but basically I'm drawing the character, redrawing the character again very quickly and easily. She's going to be in motion, so I don't think the drawing quality needs to be too good. And we're just going to make a little puppet version of her, just to get her sliding out of the shot, and hopefully it looks good. Harry Ashfield says thigh. What about her thigh? Oh yeah, thigh. Well, I think because I animated this, but it was coloured by Emma Wackley, so I sent it to Emma, and I was like, "Look, Emma, it's not anything else. It's not Kilgar, really off model. That is a thigh. You have to do that sometimes when kind of, you know, sharing your art with people to colour, because it's not always evident what things are, especially when you're kind of bending and breaking the characters." Agsma says she's a sentient green bean. She is. Coffee Troll says she looks like my wife. Hey, she looks like my wife when I forget to do the vacuuming. Hey. A Random Studio says, I have a feeling she's going to be a lot of people's new fave character. Really? I don't think so. I think people are going to be annoyed with her. I don't think she has any hope at all, actually. She's kind of a one stupid time gag villain, really. But she doesn't get killed. I can spoil that. She does survive, so I can always bring her back in another comic or something. Funcube says, isn't everyone in Starbarians, save Kilgar Tales and the Royals of Episode 1 and the baby, an alien? You know, literally everyone is an alien. I don't even know if Earth exists in that reality. Yeah, no, everyone is an alien. So, yeah. Alrighty. Hey, 2 people, Terranium and W Defender, mentioning the radioactive symbol I. Thank you, guys. I like it too. I think it's a fun. So there's a character in Toxic Crusader called Psycho, who has like one metal cyborg eye, kind of like her. And I always assumed that he must have like a radiation symbol for his eye. And I thought, well, I don't want to just rip that off. So I went and looked at the character, and I saw he didn't have it. He had one, you know, freak eye, but it didn't have the radiation symbol. And I was like, oh, that's a cool idea. I should just use that. I thought I just assumed that's what they'd done, because his character design is kind of like her. It's overly designed and overly complicated, and it's all toxic waste themed. But no, he didn't have it. So it's funny. A lot of the time, her eye kind of looks like it's making like an exclamation mark, but it sort of works when she gets angry. We established early on when you see her that it is a radiation sign. So I feel like after that point, you can kind of just play with it a bit. So I got to color her now, because for this kind of effect to work, the tweening approach, you really want all the colors to be there, so you're not sort of wondering if things are going to be visible in the background or not. Alright, so she's got a bit of blue, another bit of blue, and she's got highlight here. So I'm so lazy with highlights, I just draw little lines nowadays, but Emma did the highlights on this. She drew like really milky, nice kind of, she gave it some shape, made them fat and go in and out. I said, Emma, you can be way lazier than that, but she's a hard worker, bless her. So she is. And I caught today that I'd underpaid her. I paid her for some work the other day, and I paid her over £100 less than what was invoiced, because I was just in the middle of nowhere on my phone, kind of like yeah, I think it was this amount. I didn't, and she didn't catch it, and I caught it this morning. And like a good boy, I paid her the deficit, and I emailed or messaged right away and said, Emma, I underpaid you last week, but don't worry, I've caught up with it now. And she hadn't caught it yet, so if she'd have caught it, it would have been really embarrassing. She probably thought that was like a scam or something. But no, I've known her for years, so we went to the same university. Right, okay, so that's good. So we've got our body now. What a great anecdote about me making a minor faux pas that I corrected without any kind of incident. So you can expect more like that from my Dynamite live streams. So we need her leg. You know what? This fucking, like, oh look at the backpack's already on the wrong layer. I can tell we got to do the leg. You're only gonna, I don't even know if you're gonna see it in any frame. So let's just put the thigh on the same layer as the body, and just quickly put a bit of that shadow in there. All right. Now the other leg, I'm thinking it's sort of gonna be, we're just gonna trace that, but I'm gonna sort of bend it a bit like a banana, a phallic looking banana, because in motion it's going to be kind of dragging. Whoop. All right, we'll just have to draw through a little bit, and she's got kind of, can I just to show you Cutie's design here, if it ever opens. There we go. She's got like a ragged kind of... It's a mad design. So the animators like Emma and Yap that are working on this short, they haven't complained, but I don't think they necessarily enjoy animating and coloring this character. She is mad, but she's she's supposed to be like like Toxic Crusaders and Captain Planet and stuff. They were thinking of toys, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles kind of did the same thing. They were thinking of toys first, and they were thinking of animators last, if they were considered at all in the process. It was like, just to make a cool toy, and some poor sap has to animate the damn thing. I was thinking of the animation first, because that's all it's ever going to exist as, but I'm a sucker for that era. So Antonio is talking to Anonymous, I think. Anonymous, watching this gives me hope that AI will never properly replace... Ha! Well, we'll see about that, man. I don't know what my thoughts are about AI and animation, because it's complicated. Obviously, I don't want people's livelihoods to be taken away by computers. I'm not going to side with computers on that. I'm going to side with human beings. But for me as an indie, I can see the application of AI. So I don't know if that's hypocritical. I'm curious what you guys think, frankly. Like, I see the application for an indie. If in 10 years or whatever, 5 years, probably won't even take that long, 2 years, I can get amazing sort of, I put in designs and rough animation and it does everything else. I can make tons of stories and I can entertain people, and that's going to be great for me. And I don't necessarily, it's not like I'm employing 2 people briefly right now for a couple of weeks. It's not like there's a big industry there that would fall apart if I used AI. But the upside to me is really appealing on being able to make more work. But I don't want people losing their jobs. I like hiring people. I like working with people, and obviously you got to pay them so they can pay their bills and survive. So we've got a banana leg here. One thing you can do in Animate is you hit Control and up or down, and it kind of relayers it, which is kind of fun. When you've got a whole stack of sort of body parts and stuff, it can be quite fun to kind of sort through them and try and find bits and pieces. Alright, I'm going to do her arm now. Is going to be doing the inverse action that it's currently doing. It's a big part of animation is sort of inverting shapes. So if a character is leaning forward and they're going, "Hey you, I don't like the fact that you're, starting a 4th or 5th Reich. The 3rd one got out of hand, sir." If you've got that, and then the next pose would be, if he goes into a different kind of, even if he's still angry, have the character lean back. Have him with his feet like that. And you know what really gets me? The fact that you've gone concave like that, and then you've gone convex. It's really nice in animation. If you're a frame-by-frame animator, hand-drawn animator, think about that a lot. Think about, concave and convex, and then concave and convex. Every time you move in, move out again after, you've had a bit of time spent with the other position. So she is, because she's dragging, we could have her arm, where is she? Her arm's kind of doing this, it's bending here. We could just have it drag like that way while she's going away, but I think it's funnier or more interesting if it drags the other way. See what you're all saying about AI, because I realize I've opened up a whole can of worms with that one. A Random Studio says, "I honestly think AI is being misrepresented in the industry. The brain rot stuff you find on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, absolutely not." And Mr. Mathemation says, "A more advanced Kakani type program that utilizes AI is my dream." So Mr. Mathemation, look up a guy on YouTube called Dong Chang. Dong, like Dong Chang. You'll find he is working on and advertising something like that. And I actually see some people giving him flack, but I don't know if it's even AI, because you have to draw the whole drawing, and I'm pretty sure you have to input the lines, and then the in-betweens are generated from that. It's called, it's got like a really simple name, like Coco or Doko or Dong Dong or something, the program, but he's called Dong Chang. And I actually found him in a video, because I'm really, I'm open to both sides of the debate. I do understand there's a lot of concern that people have, and I get it. I don't want people losing their livelihoods and their jobs at all. But like, I watched a video criticizing AI, and they talked about this guy Dong Chang, so I checked him out. I wanted to know what it is that he was doing, and from what I only gave it a cursory look, but to me it didn't look like it wasn't generating animation. It was a cleanup tool that was generating in-betweens based on, I think, your drawings. I don't know if it's scrapes. I don't know if the in-betweens are generated from scraped animation. To my knowledge, they're not. If you're not scraping data, then I think it does open up application that's more moral in a lot of ways. To me, then I don't know. It's sort of like I don't pay paint manufacturers to paint cells. I've never had to go out and buy acrylic colors to paint animation cells because of the development of digital animation. So has the acrylic paint industry suffered? I'm sure they have. In a lot of ways. Has the cell and peg bar industries suffered? Have the paper, manufacturers suffered from digital animation? I'm sure they have. So I don't, the question of moving towards more and more, fewer resources being used, at least in terms of materials and power and stuff is used by AI, it's a big debate, which I'm gonna move on from because it's getting too serious around here. I'm gonna turn on my desk light so I can see while I draw her arm. Yeah, I understand. Normal AI or AI is not necessarily generative AI. Mageburger says AI debates would be so much easier if we had 2-syllable terms for generative AI. Right. Terranium says Dong Chang is the anime animator who encourages people to learn to draw and animate on paper. Yeah, from my cursory look at his channel, he didn't look like he was doing anything too immoral. Self-Defeatist said, the shift to 3D hit Disney harder than AI is hitting anything right now. They fucked 2D animators. Yeah, that certainly laid, not just, from Disney shifting to 3D, but Disney setting that standard that I think pulled a lot of other big studios into 3D. So, yeah, there is a bit of a wasteland of 2D, talented 2D animators that are not having their work showcased as well as they could be. Right, okay, I'm going to get back to drawing because we actually do need to get this done today. I've been streaming for an hour and we have an arm. It's not too good, Harry boy. And we want to put that in there. There, like that. Do. Okay. Right. So I think that'll work, and you're barely going to see her arm. This is going to be. I think that'll work. Yeah, it's kind of. It's sort of. It looks a bit crappy there. You know what? It'll work, but I don't think I should have drawn this lump here of arm, this sort of stump arm. I think it should have just been the shadow of the purple dress, like that. And we'll color that in. D. It's messy, but you won't even see, 'cause arm is gonna be in the way. We're doing tweens because I'm lazy. And now, oh, that's the problem. That's the problem. We didn't draw a, see, this thing, that metal thing should be in front, but that's one of the problems with tweening. I know Toon Boom has like workarounds for this, but with lazy, stupid, low IQ tweening, like what I do, stuff that both goes in front and behind of an object is really annoying. You have to create a lot of layers. What I'm going to do for now, because you're barely going to see it, I'm just going to do a short sort of workaround of just doing this. It's what I should have done in the first place, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okie dokie. Alright. So now we need, she's got her legs, she's got her body, she needs the other arm. She needs her neck. That's important. We'll do the neck I should have made, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm such a dumbass. I should have made this part of the arm. I'm sure people were telling me to do that in the chat, and I didn't heed it. I was a heedless youth. A wild youth. Yeah, this shouldn't have been part of her body, because now this thing that clips the neck, that occludes the neck, can sit in front of the neck, like it should do. So now, just get those two colors. Whoop. Oh, what? I've lost it. Where'd it go? I hate it when it does that. Oh, like, where's the screen gone? Where is it? Oh, there she is. Okay. That's what I wanted. Okay. Alright, well. We can get in there. No, we can't. We can get in there like that. We don't want to be drawing over the nice black lines we did. And put a bit of the old light blue in there. A bit of the old light blue. And a bit of that sort of dark aqua color. Okie dokie. So, I'm just going to do that nice highlight. Okie doke. Oh, no, I was drawing on the wrong layer. There we go, on top like that. All right. So, Special Fish Simon says, you're too harsh on yourself. What you are doing is brilliant. No, thank you. Thank you, Simon. You are a special fish. By the way, has anyone ever seen the film Help, I'm a Fish? I watched that last year. I thought it was going to be terrible because it has really bad pop songs in it. It's got some bad needle drops. But man, it's actually a pretty fun animated film. It's got, I think I remember feeling like it was quite well written. Pretty sure it was based on a book. The animation's fine, but it's weird and kind of cool. I liked it. Help, I'm a Fish. I remember it coming out when I was a kid. I realized it was a non-Disney film. I was like, I don't know if I really want to see that. And I don't think I would have loved it as a kid. I didn't love it as an adult, but it was better than I expected. Mr. Matamation says, slightly tedious, yeah, but doesn't take super long. Art Shapey says, your next character should be called Venus de Silo. That's really funny. Man, I should have called her that. Oh, I see. Like a missile silo. Dude, that's a great idea. Venus de Silo, an armless missile firing robot. If you're giving me that, if this is you giving me that name, I might actually use it. But I don't want to pay you any money, so maybe you should just keep it yourself. It's a very good one. I like that. It's funny. Punny names are good, man. They're underutilized. My wife has been making. I can't say she's been making it from scratch because she basically has been playing a dice game where you roll these dice and they have letters on the dice and you have to create words out of the letters. It's called Q-less because the game doesn't actually have a letter Q. She got really into it lately, but she wants the letter Q, so she made her own set with slightly different dice and has been playing it, and it's really fun. It's really, really addictive. And she said to me, can you think of a name? And I love challenges like that. You know me, I love puns. I like making portmanteaus and that kind of thing. So I sat down yesterday and I came up with as many names. She's not going to sell it, by the way. It's not like she copyrighted it. It's just for her. And she's making a few copies to give to people. But I wrote about 20 names for this game. Like, you know, vowel, God, I can't remember any of them now. What shit? What was consonant agony was one I remember. Vowel play was one of them. I basically came up with everything I could think of, and the one that I really liked was spellbind because you have to spell words and they all have to link to other words. So it was like letter link, think link. You know, I was coming up with all these things, but finally I thought spellbind is good because you're binding words together and they have to spell a word. So spellbind or spellbound, but I like spellbind. It's probably already a game called Spellbind, but I think she liked consonant agony, and I was like, no, come on, that's crap. That's just me just having a bit of fun. Don't call it consonant agony. Hello, Shucharu. Help, I'm a Fish is from Denmark. Woo! Hey, yeah, Shucharu's in the chat. Sorry, dude, I didn't see you there. Yeah, man, Help I'm a Fish. Yeah, I did know it was foreign, to me, anyway. Foreign by my standards. Isn't Aaron Paul in it? Is Aaron Paul... I guess he would have been a kid. Yeah, maybe he is in that. That's funny. That's really funny if he's in Help I'm a Fish. Animated Taco! Hey! Scotty boy! Disemboweled is pretty good. That's a bit too gory maybe for Joyce. Boggle too, yeah. I was like Scrabble Scribe. I liked Write 'em and Weep. I thought it was alright. I liked Roll Scroll too, because you're rolling dice and writing things down. Roll Scroll came up with about 20 of these things. Let me see. Callum Pat said, I really appreciate the message at the end about storytelling. Oh, you're talking about the book. Oh, I want to read this. My ego rubbing me little hands. I want to read a review of my book from Callum. Callum says, hi, Harry. I just want to say I thoroughly enjoyed the graphic novel. Read it cover to cover. That is how I was designed. But thank you. It's currently in the hands of my animator friend who saw me reading it and was jealous and had to borrow it. Well, thank you very much, Callum. Callum says, I really appreciate the message at the end about storytelling. Love from Ireland. I'll definitely support all future Starbarian tales. Hey, Callum, much appreciated, mate. Thank you. And I'm glad it arrived okay. And I'm glad your friend wanted it or is hopefully enjoying it now. Yeah, it's imperfect. There's some things about it I'd like to do better on future books in the future. But such future things in the future will be in the future. I will do more books like that. All right. So we're rigging a little mini rig for us because I'm going to animate this lady very quickly using motion tweens. It's not going to look very good, but hopefully should mean that the stream can end in an hour's time because I want to eat me dinner. And oh, where'd her arm go? Oh dear, that's not good. Where'd her arm go? Harry, what'd you do with her arm? Is it under the thing? No, it's not under the... Oh, bloody hell. That's not good. Alright, guys, we've lost an arm. Colour that in. I've got to open up Control L. Where did the arm go? Say it with me. Where did the arm go? Oh, I don't know why. There's all these frames of Cutie Paluti that don't have line art because of the way that Yap works. Yeah, I don't know why she doesn't have line art. Okay. And they're all symbols. These are some goofy little things. Okay, hey, check it out. Hardcore. Alright, I'm going to have to find... It's going to be in the more recent symbols, I guess. Where's that bloody arm, Partridge? No. You can see I've been doing... Oh my god. Alright. Alright, it's going to be one of the... Where's that fucking arm? Okay, so this is symbol... What symbol is this? I don't know if you can hear my stomach growling, but... I'm hungry. Okay. What is it? What graphic is it? It should say. Fucking... It should say... Oh, there we go. There we go. There it is. Symbol 131. Okay, so we're looking at probably 130 then. Is what I'm actually hunting for. Oh, Yap, you're killing me with all these weird symbols that all your animation turns into. 130? 131? No. What? Where did the arm go? It's not. If the neck is 130, it should be like 129 or something. Ah! There we are. There's the bloody arm. He's mostly armless. Alright. Alright. There's the fucking thing. Alright. Okay. I'm going to just... Her head, I'm going to compromise it a bit. And kind of do... I'm going to make these little sort of hair clasp things kind of drag. And... make the nose kind of drag. You sort of want everything kind of pulling as she's yanking herself away. like so. Like that. And Mighty Dub, oh sorry, not Mighty Dubs, Mushy Dubs. Mushy Dubs says, I guess you could say you've been disarmed. Yeah, I was expecting some arm puns when I came back. Fun Cubes recognizes Where Did the Hair Go? Love that classic. Love a bit of classic Kyle Justin. A Random Studio says, if arm is lost for more than 4 hours, consult your doctor. It's a real dilemma, okay? Arch Hippie is talking to Mage Burger, he's not talking to me. Hey, RHBS, how you doing? Hey, I hope you got your book, man. We had some problems sending you your book to where you're at, but yeah, I'm glad to be back on YouTube. Don't call it a comeback. I'm not sure I'll stick around, but hello as well to Testy McTestingson. Agsma says, too long didn't read. The Glassworkers spoilers. The protagonist's dad literally, I don't know what you're talking about. Sorry, I'm not in the loop with what Agsma's talking about. The Glassworker. Harry, is Hogstrong your first Sona? Kockenheimer, I can talk to you man to man because I respect the chutzpah of anyone called Kockenheimer. I promise, from the core of my being, I haven't got a single furry bone in me. And the thing with Hogstrong being, I guess, looking like furry bait to some people, it was completely unintentional. As a kid, I liked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Biker Mice from Mars and Street Sharks and all that shite, because it's mostly shite. I just thought animal, like, yeah, okay, anthro animal guys are just, that's a big thing in, you know, fun space cartoons. It's like, kind of like Chewbacca or something. It's like an animal friend. I didn't realize it was such a thing for some people that they're really into, but yeah, you're right. It looks like furry bait. I just have to live with that. I can't deny it too hard, because then, you know, if the lady protested, if the lady doth protest too much, then it's gonna look suspicious. So, all right. I don't like her eye being open while she's leaving. I think she's going to be squinting, kind of closing her eyes up. She's got these great big radiation symbol eyelashes, like that. Okay, and what I'm going to do is the hair, all that hair, that red hair, it's not gonna, you could probably get away with it being tweened, but I just think it would look cooler if it was frame by frame. It'd be a fun little way to end the stream, just to frame by frame her hair. So we'll do that in a minute. And just put the shine on her teeth. Now she's got a complicated load of, what do you call it, shading on her little chrome eyepiece there. So I'm gonna try and let's get that in really quickly. Oh yeah, and of course the shading on her skin, because she be green. And I think we're good. Okay. All right. Now, what did I miss in terms of chat fodder? What chat biscuits have been laid out for me to consume? Hey, Mr. Common Oddity. Sorry, I nearly called you Muck Common Oddity like you're Scottish. Hey, Mr. Common Oddity. Hope you're doing well. Mr. Common Oddity says, I'm glad that someone else aside from me is familiar with Biker Mice from Mars. Yeah, it just, growing up, they were all cool animal teams. There was the Road Rovers, although I think that caused a lot of furryism. The Road Rovers and T-Rex, if anyone remembers the show T-Rex. Oh, of course, Extreme Dinosaurs, which was pretty bad from what I remember. But yeah, I liked a lot of that kind of stuff. And Biker Mice definitely, Turtles probably the most. And I just thought that animal guys with weapons that talked was normal. I think it is normal for a cartoon, but some people take it in an entirely different direction. Harry Ashfield is talking to Kockenheimer. And Geranium, sorry, sometimes I see a name, I want to talk to someone, I read the name, and then I read that they're talking to someone else, and I realize I'm not involved in that conversation, so it's hard to keep up with the chat. Geranium says, without most of the colors, she looks like she's the result of Homer's makeup shotgun. He said it to whore. I love that gag. I gave ChatGPT a little test the other day, just out of like I decided, okay, I'm gonna give it a Simpsons scene to write. I said there's a season 4 to 6 peak Simpsons scene. It's like really good Simpsons. Something about the nuclear power plant has to be shut down, and Mr. Burns and Smithers are planning to blame Homer so that they're not culpable. They're like finding out how they can make him a scapegoat. That's the gist of the scene. Now you have to put in 3 good jokes. There have to be 3 good jokes just to see what it did. And it wasn't like I've read. Oh, that's a scary thing about this shit. And I realized, well, you're using it just for, you know, mostly I use it for like figuring out kind of logistical things, and it's oftentimes wrong on that. But it's sort of fun to poke around with and challenge it. It's me experimenting, I feel, on the AI more than vice versa. But what it wrote was not bad. It was no, it was bad actually. That's a lie. It was bad, but it didn't seem very different to Modern Simpsons to me. It was all the ideas were very writery. Like there was no funny visuals, which is a disappointment. It talked about like Mr. Burns using a cane to try and push a button. It's not particularly funny. Also, he doesn't use a cane, but no kind of clever visual ideas were written into it, and it was all just like you could just take one of the jokes and put them in anything and it would kind of fit. It was like Smithers says something about, I don't know what to write here, sir. I'll just write shrug. It's like, okay, that's just like a sort of crappy SNL kind of throwaway joke. Not really a joke, but it was usable. Like it got the point across, and I thought, man, that's the scary thing is literally AI could be used to make. I know people joke about like season 50 of The Simpsons is going to be AI. Yeah, it actually could be, because I've seen worse jokes in modern episodes. Animated Taco said, did you see the new Beasts of the Cyberzoic line? I did not. Sounds rad, but I didn't see that. Self-Defeater said, AI models have been good at writing for like almost 2 years now. It's pretty nuts. I still think you can tell it's dead. I would never use it for creative writing. I think you could be creative with it by getting it to do kind of almost like figuring out what not to do. Like saying, write this 10 different things for me and seeing if any of those are usable. But you have to have taste and ideas and to be able to pick which ones or which ideas work, you know? You gotta have taste. They need people with ideas that can tell if the stuff's crap or not. Oh yeah, I agree, Mr. Matamation. Giving Burns a cane for a joke is fine, but the joke was that he was using a cane to push a button instead of his finger. That's not a joke. That's it's not a Simpsons worthy joke anyway. Like maybe, I don't know, pushing a button that gets somebody to come and push the button. Like maybe that kind of idea, you could explore it. That's the thing. If it can get you thinking in a new way where you go, well, that's not good, but how... I actually find that editing sometimes can be a lot easier than creating, especially if you've got like a little bit of a bit of fog or something, or a little bit of block. Like, give me a bad version of something and I can go, oh, well, I can see now 20 things that are wrong with that. You might be able to hammer it into shape. Okay, speaking of hammered into shape, let's look at this lumpy thing and turn it into a graphic and stick it in there. She's starting to come together. She's starting to... See, I don't know. I think we've got enough. I think I'm gonna give her one of these little things, just a little bit of the blue, light blue, just so you can see that there's another armband there, attaching a backpack to her. And let's make that a symbol real quick, like this. There you go. Move it through the layers. And I don't, because if I make this animation, like this arm should probably be doing like that, like a big wave as she disappears. So I think we're gonna have to do that frame by frame, unfortunately. All right, we're gonna have to do some cleanup on this, I think. But so she says whatever she says to Hogstrong. He goes blah de blah blah. Great big hilarious joke. Hogstrong pulls out his cane to push a button. He talks about the planet. There's a little gag, a little sight gag, and she comes in and screams at him. Look, we got a little floating eyebrow like that. I quite like the occasional floating eyebrow. You can get away with it. She's like, I don't want that stupid thing. It's poopy. She's slightly too big. And then she glitches very strangely. But she's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I don't want that pile of crap. And then after the hold, she just pulls away. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. Because she in the next shot, she sort of slips into view like that. And she starts talking. And then watching it back, I didn't like that she didn't move out of this shot. I was like, oh, she's just static, and then she's moving. It might be funnier that way. I don't know. Too late now because I've fucking made the mini rig. But we're gonna pull her out of the shot. It's very quickly. So, step one, we're just gonna create an initial position, like a kind of usually. Because the way that the skirt is kind of like pulling up, you kind of want her to be lower than the skirt. And this thing is big and massive, so it's barely going to move. What we should do is copy all this onto one frame, and then make duplicates, because we're gonna mess with it. All right, this neck here is really gonna have to stretch to like, she's gonna have to be like that. All right, so that neck is gonna have to stretch. And we're gonna have to maybe clean up little gaps and things that aren't quite. I should have made the boobs, pushed them up even more. So this is the other thing you do in mini rigs, or I do anyway, is kind of make little alternate versions of symbols. So I'm going to create one where her body is elongated just a bit like that, just so we can really, and that'll be like the first version of it, and then we'll make another one in a minute. And just maybe because it's like I don't have to redraw the boobs. Typically I wouldn't mind, but time sensitive thing. Alright, I'm just gonna kind of create a slightly elongated form there and just clean that line up so it's sort of smooth across like that. That should be fine for one frame. Now it isn't like that yet because we need to select frame 2. So it's going to be our frame 2 version of the chest, like that. And this thing is really not doing its job to tie everything together, so I got to really stretch it out and make it big. There we go, like that. Okay, so that's pretty good for kind of frame 1. Her head's like Popeye, it's like stretching out, but as the body starts to go, and then that'll be 2 frames, and then we want another one. So she's going to be going and then so the other thing you want to do, we want to make sure that it doesn't actually play the 2 frames, which it's going to do. Okay, so that's our first frame, and we'll go in a little while and do the hand and the hair, and then we're going to do frame 2. So it's really going to start to kind of like that. All right, so keep that head. It's sort of funny if it's like that. This is not superior to doing frame by frame animation, I'm afraid, but it might just about work. Okay, so we don't want the backpack to be quite so far along because it's this heavy thing that's supposed to drag. So that head can rotate a tiny bit. Rotate the arm a little bit up. And you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this. We're gonna stretch that head because it just looks better. Okay, now we're not there yet. We may have to put some of this on ones to make it all work. I'm starting to think this would have been better frame by frame because she's so much, you know, so much on her that kind of should drag. I think it would have been better frame by frame, but I've committed to the bit now. Bring that forward a little bit. Bring that knee up. We'll bring that knee back on this frame. She's really just a mass of limbs, basically just leaving the frame, but at that point, I think, whew, I think we're gonna do this. Oh wait, I didn't want that. What's going on there? Just the head. And we really need to, by that point, we need to start playing with those eyelashes because they're so long, so exaggerated that she really should be yanking behind like that. All right, it's 8:30. We have got to get this thing finished in the next 30 minutes, and I will take a look at the chat, see what the chat's got to say to me. Oh, okay. So she's like blah 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 blah. Oh, hang on. What's going on there? Oh, I see. Loops the symbol there. Okay. Blah. You know, that's not working for me. Maybe this one has to be forward a little bit, like that. You know, so it's sort of needs to slow down a bit too. It's a little too fast. This is the thing, it's tough doing stuff on live stream because I do a lot of kind of figuring things out, and at the end of the day when it's hot, the one thing I don't want to do is do a lot of trial and error and figure things out. Anyway, let me look at what the chat is saying. Hey, Comic Tropes Chris! Comic Tropes Chris, my buddy! I didn't expect you to be here today. Hope you're doing well, Chris. Thank you for all your support lately. Will I adjust Hogstrong's eyeline? I thought that you were talking about his makeup for a minute, like his eyeliner. That's a good question. Eyelines are important. Yes. I probably could do that quite easily. So, let me see. The eyeline is good here. It's still okay there, I think. Oh, that's good. Yes. Yes, as she leaves, he does need to look and actually watch her leave. But for the time being, I'm thinking kind of somewhere in the middle of the of these two frames would be better. So she's all like blah blah blah. So maybe this thing shouldn't be sort of following her. It should be like that, because it's this big heavy thing. And then as she starts to leave, this thing should really be coming forward, because it's the weighty part of her backpack. And I should probably have it on this frame here. Is that still... Damn it. I meant to... Alright. That'll be its own graphic. And like this. I should really stretch that out just to make it sort of... Feel like the arc here is not... It's not really working for me. Like, you want the motion to kind of swoop down, and I feel her head is going... It's like, it goes up here, and then it goes down, so it's sort of like the arc is kind of bumpy, which you don't want. You don't want bumps in your arc. Noah, you want a straight arc. You want a curved arc. So that motion is squiffy. Can we get some better... Go down there. And then maybe a little bit with the backpack it can be up. I think once we put in the hair and stuff and do that frame by frame, I think it'll look a lot better. This is the sort of thing you should really be doing in 20 minutes. This should not be taking an hour and looking this bad, but should also speed up. Slow, 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 speed up. All right. All right, I think that's going to be okay once we get the arm in there. Right, let's save this with a bit of frame by frame, because oh boy, this is a bit ropey. Okay, so oh, it's on object mode, which we don't want. In this house, we don't like object mode, okay? Which makes every line you draw turn into an object, which is really weird. Okay, so she sort of comes down like this, and then starts to lead away. And we probably will shrink her in general, so her body isn't sort of occluding Hogstrong so much. She'll probably be more like, maybe more like here, or sort of slightly reduced and kind of this sort of top corner anyway. Ooh. It's like I don't want her arm to go too low, but it's what it's gonna end up doing. There you go. Like that. So the arm kind of whooshes along with her like there. And for the hair, we'll do that on one more layer. It's kind of just going to follow that curve like so. Really, always kind of, when you're moving stuff like hair and capes and stuff, you want to just reference the prior position it was in. So it's still here, and it's always going to be kind of dragging, because it doesn't have any momentum really of its own. So now it's going to be, because it was sort of starting to pull in that direction, you kind of have to, going back to that concave convex thing, you're kind of going to be doing that. Alright, so now for these hair kind of tendrils that she's got here, gosh, I don't want to animate them frame by frame. Maybe I have to. Oh, she's got a little puff of hair at the back there. I totally forgot about that. That's a pain. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna go in and just draw that as part of the actual tween, because I don't want to draw it. frame by frame. Let's just put that in there sneaky like that. Can we just get away with it? Yeah, it's fine. Whoosh. All right. What are folks saying in the chat? Killer Quality said, Harry, dude, you're embarrassing us right in front of the babes. With all this trial and error nonsense. Dude, your arcs. Your weight disposition. What do we, I don't know. I can't think of animation terms. I don't have any any experience working with real animators. What do they call? I guess your timing charts and stuff. Your timing charts are all over the place. Look at this X cheat, dude. You're embarrassing me. Mr. Common Oddity said, no bumps in the arc. You're romantic. It looks good though, thank you. Funkeep says, I love how the arm stretch keeps becoming more and more vague. Yeah, I know. It's all over the sloppy place. Comic Trope said, exit stage right even. Yeah, she's... Well, I based her on Snagglepuss, my favorite character of all time. Alright. Let's see. I can... We got 20 minutes to get this frame by frame done. It's getting very hot in my office, so I don't want to be here too much longer. I think I'm going to just have to go ahead and do this, figure this out. Right, let's just do this all on top like this. Now this is impressive what I'm about to do, okay? That's not true at all. This line is way too thick. What was going on there? Let's make it a 5, and we'll come back and try again. Alright. So we're going to do... Just got to create something that kind of works as a beginning position for that hair. Her stupid Chucky the Clown hair. Oh, no. It wants to be like that, I think. And I'm going to have to kind of... I don't like doing this, but... sort of eat into the stuff a little bit so that it doesn't have a layering problem. Okay. And then create that little bit there. I'm gonna have to animate the little hair clasps too. I think I left them off on this side of the head. She does technically have hair on this side too, but if you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Okay. And so that's frame 1 with the hair. And now that we've got it drawn, we can start kind of go a little bit faster now. We've got a ghost image we can kind of use. And this, I think, is the trick to really making it look frame by frame. Things like hair, capes, fur, belly fat, you know, even like floppy parts, soft parts of the characters kind of bounce around. Doing that frame by frame, or putting a little bit more of an afterthought into it and how it moves, is going to make it look a little bit more organic, a little bit better. Can't always get away with it, but hey, le petit Graal, le petit Graal. I was actually I was in France last week for a couple of days on work-related reasons. I went and signed a couple hundred prints for the French Starbarians comic campaign, and it was great. I got to use my awful French. I probably don't know about 10 words in French, and I struggled. The toilet in my Airbnb actually broke down, so I had to go outside and find places to poop. So I was going in coffee shops and dragging Joyce around to the places like that to try and find someone with a toilet. So ordering, you know, un café, un grande café, s'il vous plaît. I try with my accent. I try and be je voudrais un café au lait, s'il vous plaît. But you know, a lot of people just look at me very confused. But I had a great time. Great time in France. Bought some comics. Big comic presence in France. We were in Bordeaux, and there were just comic shops like every 10 yards. It was really cool, really great. Great food too. No fat people though. I think I was the fattest person I saw the whole time I was there. Very few fat people, and it didn't feel good. It didn't feel right. I thought, where are the fatties at? Where are they hiding them? France, you got plenty of good food, so there's no excuses, okay? I'm glad that it scratches the itch for you, a random studio. Body Count Media says, randomst. Special Fish Simon's Harry, you are the pinnacle of animation. Thank you. The pomme de frite. Isn't that French fries? Comic Trope says, did you get to kiss Gaston while there? I groped his chest and he screamed at me and it became a viral video. I think that guy overreacted, by the way. If you've seen that viral video of that girl kind of like she pinches his chest and he's like, that's inappropriate. I know if it was the other way around, it would be inappropriate if that was a guy doing it to a girl. But I thought, I think he could have just turned away and just walked back in and just, let the handler deal with it. I think the characters should just get the fuck out of there. If they're not comfortable, just get out of there. They don't have to necessarily scream at the customer or whatever, the guest, whatever dystopian phrase Disney uses to describe people that go to the parks. Is it guest? Treasured guest. I heard treasured guest was like a code word at Disney for when someone was being a jerk, when a guest was being a maniac and, like causing problems. They get on security and they'd be like, we have a treasured guest who, needs assistance. We have a treasured guest is asking some questions downstairs and we need, some help with them. So I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I was a treasured guest of France. People kept telling me I was very treasured. Didn't grope anyone though. Alright. Man, I gotta go. Yeah, 15 minutes. I gotta be out of here because my wife is making... we're on a diet, kind of, after France. Half-hearted diet. And she said, what did you want tonight? Because I wanted to get takeaway. She's like, just don't get takeaway. You'll get way too much food. And you'll eat it all. And be sorry. I said, alright, woman. And instead, she said, what would you like to eat? And I said, I want a beef burrito and French fries. Pomme de frite. She said, I can just make that. I can smell it cooking. Smell it cooking up. Smell them French fries. Oh, was she a great big fat person? She does have a bit more hair around the back of her head, but I'm just gonna act like it doesn't exist. I don't want to even acknowledge it. I'm getting all confused now with the layers. What's going on? Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Alrighty, and we'll just keep it. It's getting very swirly. It looks like a fleur-de-lis. We don't want that to get too off model. And this is such. Oh, I don't know about these. I don't know about these. Okay, and we'll just keep animating it out of the shot. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Totally fine. Okay, and this one is kind of. I don't like what it did there. Wrapping around like that looks like it wouldn't really do that. So it's getting very, very chubby suddenly. Okay, that's fine. We don't need to keep animating that little guy. And now the hair is going to be doing kind of a full change in its sort of shape there. Just turning into a knife, basically. I forgot. I should have put hair on her forehead, so I'm going to have to color that in red, like her normal hair. I'll tell you one thing that happened to me in France, which is not cool. Not cool. Is I went to a raclette restaurant, which is like a Swiss type of thing where they melt cheese directly onto your food. That was cool, don't get me wrong. Cheese melting onto other food that I will eat is great. Kind of like fondue, but you're the one melting the cheese. Basically, they give you a radiator at your table that you put the cheese near. That was great. But like I said, the toilet was broken at the place I was staying at, and it took them 2 days to figure out they couldn't fix it. And I hadn't pooped very much all day. And then I decided to eat a lot of cheese in one sitting. And then I was in the middle of a French city I didn't know, and I needed to poop, and I knew I couldn't go home and poop. That wasn't cool. I had to go back to my friend Ben's house, not really a house, an apartment, to poop. I didn't really have any ventilation in his bathroom. There were no windows. And I just had to man, it was like getting there was quite a walk, and I was filled with poop, and I just let go. I let go just in time. I did manage to get back to his, but the place probably needed to be fumigated afterwards. It was, yeah, it was tough. All right. Oh, I'm sorry you're waiting in line at the DMV, Mr. Matamation. I hope that is, hope that's over for you soon. All right. Oh, my wife is cooking, and it's 10 to 9. I told her I would definitely be done at 9. And I can smell the beef. Smell that beef. I'm not done with this damn shot. Okay, alright. Okay. Alright, we're going to do it on the same layer, damn it, which is... No, we're not going to do it on the same layer, that's stupid. Don't do it on the same layer, Harry. Okay. Alright, I don't think I'm going to have time to shade it. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to do a poor man's job of animating this shot, of animating the hand. Real poor job of animating it. Where does the body begin? Let's get that line in one stroke, Harry boy. Alright. This arm is way too long. I have a tendency to give people arms that are a bit too long sometimes. It's an affliction. Yeah, the palm would not be quite so shallow there. Okay. And okay. Real like Marge Simpson fingers, because going fast as we possibly can here. I think if I just don't shade it, we'll get an idea of what the shot looks like, and you'll be underwhelmed, and you'll say, I think, Harry, you could have done better, and I'll agree with you. Alright. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. I smell that beef. Oh, look at that arm. It's so freakishly long. Why is it so bloody long? Okay, this is not on. An arm should not be that big. Ah! Oh no. Come on, missus. Your arm's too freakishly long. It's like that shot of the guy at the end of RoboCop when he falls out of the building. And he's got really long arms. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Okay, we're gonna get into what we call really simple territory now, where the arm is just not very well drawn anymore. And she's doing a bit of an Elon Musk there, but we're not going to linger on that, don't worry. Okay, and we're going to just... Okay, and I think if I'm smart, if I'm a good boy, I can just take this arm, take these broken wings and learn to fly, and we'll just get rid of the layer below in a second. And what happened there? Converted to symbol. Come on. Why is it? Oh, it thinks it's on this frame. Okay. Okay. All right. And we put on make it graphic. And okay. So now she's going to be put her back at full opacity. I'm going to do this very, very quick and dirty with no shading because we just don't have time for it. I'll have to do the shading after the stream. Come on. Bloody Nora. Right. Get that in there like that. And with any luck, this will work. There's no shading, but you know, you can overshade. Might even be able to sort of slide the shading off of her hair as she disappears, you know, like she gets less detailed as she leaves the frame. And that's good enough, almost, for the hair for now. Just to get us to the grand reveal at the end. That's good enough. Now the arm. Oop. Her stupid green arm is on this layer. So we want like the lines are thick and lumpy. Aye. Okay. That's good. That's good. Oh, it's like not okay. Okay, I'll have to take it and move it in a few places to be on the right layer. Oh yeah, it's on a symbol on this one, isn't it? Okie dokie. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, but I'm so stricken with this, trying to get it done. Right. Yeah, that's a freakishly long arm. Oop. And okay, so we were able to reuse the arm once. May have even drawn a hand very similar to this already, but okay. Okay, there's some layering issues and there's no shading and it's very wonky. The arm goes behind the backpack, which we don't want because it's supposed to be in front, but if I can just grab and reuse this silly little arm here one more time, kind of like it's arcing up like that and beginning to go back down. We might be able to get away with it. Right, okay, that's that. So in frame by frame, the shading disappears. It goes that like that, and the little rings on the hair are not colored in, the little metal rings, and there's no shading on the hand. But that's it. Oh, what fun animation is. Oh man, what fun to spend all that time doing all that. Okay, so let's just see, does it work? Can we just make it? Is there a dialogue that I can? All right, there's a break there. Let's just see if this works, okay? The shading and the coloring isn't there. I'm so sorry I've ignored the chat for the last hour, it feels like. Okay. All right. Talkie. She comes in. Na. You don't get to blah blah blah. She feels too fast there because she's on ones. She's on ones here, and then she's on twos, I think here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. mostly on 2s here, and she's on 1s here, so you should see every single frame is like that. It might be okay if she just pauses for a little bit first. She just needs to hang out for a bit longer. Oh, I see. He's... Wow, that... Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There. What if we just cut this frame? Nah. Let's keep it. Alright. Looks alright out of context to it, but I think that obviously the edit now is fucked up because I extended it. I think it works. It's okay. I think I need to slow her down just a tiny bit. But I feel like she should go at the same pace. Maybe she doesn't need quite so many frames. Oh, it's sad to lose some, but... Anyway, I won't cut frames now. It's too heartbreaking to do on the live stream. But there you go, folks. Just about gets under the door. I think that one, like Indiana Jones, just before the hat is crushed. It's 9 o'clock, so I've got to make a move. But this cartoon is coming out this merry month of April 2025. It is coming out. I can't guarantee what will happen after that, but it's happening. Hey, Glass Cake, you joined us just in time, buddy. I'm clocking off though. I've got to go and eat beef. Have to, contractual obligation. And you're gonna see this silly thing sometime in April. It's an absolute mess right now. Nothing's finished, but we just about managed to finish a very, very dodgy end to Cutie Paluti in this shot. I'll fix it up. I'll make it better for the final cartoon. Yeah. Alright, whatever. I can figure it out. Hey, thank you to everybody who came by today. Killer Quality, Terranium, Random Studio, Aloverse, Joel Mayer, Glass Cake, Terranium, Liam Hart, hey Liam, Self-Defeatist, Bean Light, Gene M97, Harry Ashfield, of course. Yes, I'm going to go beef it up, Glass Cake. Fun Cubes, Comic Tropes Chris, my pal, Comic Tropes Chris. A lot of you are my pals, so I'm sorry I'm giving Comic Tropes Chris special attention, but he did send me a large stash of blood diamonds lately, so thank you for that. Ed Peachtree, Duffersaw, Dylan, Arch Hippie, Odysseus Themelis, Tiltro, Paus Thimoko, Special Fish Simon, Mushy Dubs, Davy88, hey Davy88. Alright, I'm off. My voice is a bit dry, and I need to eat beef. So you have a good one, and remember to always